Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've all had a good week in the markets, and more importantly, I hope you're all looking forward to a nice break over the Christmas period and sort of getting ready to recharge your batteries, ready for a great year of trading in 2016. In today's episode, we've got a few opportunities to look up, but to be honest, to look at even. But to be honest with you, we're going to be playing things quite sort of like close to the chest, quite guarded this week, because obviously we are going into a Christmas week. Volume is going to be low. So there could be some pretty unpredictable moves out there in the markets this week. But nevertheless, there are a few that are looking promising. And obviously we'll have to just wait to see how they set up next week and what the price action is next week, early next week, to decide as to whether we're going to take them or not. So without further ado, let's jump over to the charts and take a look at the opportunities that we're looking at in the FX markets for the week ahead. On the weekly chart perspective, as you can see, obviously we're in a big downtrend. The market did toy and did play with this resistance level here, but it's since sold off from it. So, from the longer term perspective, we are also looking good for a short opportunity. Obviously, we're going to look to take these on the shorter term charts next week. The 4 hour, if we get a pullback here, it looks like it could be a little bit ugly. The 1 hour looks better, but the problem that we do have here, and this is something that we'll need to consider if this sets up this evening or in the coming weeks, is basically that we're going to be trading directly into this low here. So depending on what else is on the table at the time, we'll probably look to take this with a significantly smaller position than we normally would, obviously looking at the risk in the markets for the week ahead. So with the Christmas period, obviously, and the fact that we're trading into this low here. But in the long term, we can certainly see the market coming down to at least the 1.0504. And if it breaks through there, then we've basically got completely clear water down until we get to the lows at 1.0038 on the weekly chart down here. So if we get through these lows here, we've got a long way that we can go. So potentially a really good opportunity to book some profits on that trade there. The CAD yen is the next one that we'll be taking a look at. And this one has got really quite some momentum here. It's just broken out from a structure level on the daily charts, as you can see here. So if I zoom into the daily very quickly, you can see that it's been making its move down there. Obviously, the market has broken through this daily structure level there, which is a great sign. We can either look to take that opportunity on the daily chart, but from my perspective, I would quite like to see something like the 4 hour chart, this one over here. As you can see, take a little bit more momentum to the downside and then give us a nice harmonic pullback, at which point I'll be more than happy to get involved in that trade there. But that one's not ready just yet. It's more one that there's the momentum in the market, and obviously we need momentum in the market to be able to make money, right? If the market's not moving, there's no point in trading. So yes, you can go take a look at some of the other currency pairs at the moment, and you would say that they are trending. They're moving in a certain direction, which is great. But what we look for, what we need to be successful as traders, we need momentum in the markets, because if it's not moving, then you get very, very choppy price action. And even if you pick the direction right, most retail traders, they won't be able to stick with that volatility of the moving up, with the market moving up and down and up and down. To obviously reap the rewards of that position, and more often than not, they'll have their stop too close to the markets, they'll get stopped out, they'll see that the market moves in their favor, but they're never there. That's why you need to make sure that you're getting into momentum moves for your trading, because they're the ones that are going to pay you quicker, they're the ones that are going to be better on you psychologically. Okay, the other opportunity is the pound yen. Now this one we've talked about for some time now. We were obviously short this pair from the breakdown of this trend which we saw on the 4 hour chart. We spoke about this a few weeks ago. Looking to get short this pair here, and literally once it broke that level, it did give us the opportunity to go short, and we've just had momentum really ever since then. So you can see here on the daily chart it's moved down. And now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that market to give us a bit of a pullback. Perhaps if we get a pullback to a previous level of support becomes resistance, Okay, on the 1 hour chart there, that would be a great opportunity to take a short. So that's definitely one that's in my sights for next week. The New Zealand CAD is another one so that we're looking to take, and just look at this momentum here on the daily charts. All right, so the New Zealand CAD there's broken out of a structural level, as you can see there. All right, so it's broken out of structure there. We've got a nice momentum move to the upside. We've got quite a lot of fundamentals going with this particular trade as well, to be honest with you, to do with commodity prices and also with what's going on in New Zealand. So that from that perspective is also a very, very good trade. So where I'm looking for an opportunity, if the market pulls back quite significantly, then obviously we'd look for a trade off of the 0.9005. However, if we don't get that large of a pullback, and I'm kind of thinking that perhaps we won't with this momentum here, I'll be quite happy to take an opportunity off of the 4 hour chart if we get some sort of a consolidation or some sort of a pullback. Okay. The final one is the dollar CAD. Now, the dollar CAD is one that we've been bullish on for quite some time now. But this one is just looking like it's really going to set up very nicely for the new year. So as you can see here, the weekly trend is, overwhelmingly up. Literally since if we kind of take a look there, go back a little bit, since back in 2014, this thing's been tracking up after it broke through that congestion zone there. This year, if we just zoom out a little bit, this year as well, so you can see from the beginning of this year, and actually we were talking about this early last year, the market did give a bit of a pullback, but then it broke out from a structure level, and since then it's just been up, up, and up. And to be honest with you, we see that continuing for the midterm at least going into next year. So this is certainly one that we're going to look to be trading. Definitely going to be getting involved in this for the weeks and months ahead. However that's set up. At the moment, it looks like we'll probably get the setup on the 4 hour chart, just from the way that the price action's going at the moment. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see the 4 hour chart start to get choppy there, because then it will make it difficult for us. So we either want it to have a nice tight range to the side there from which we can buy the breakout, or a nice harmonic pullback. If we start to get really untidy price action here, then it's going to be a question of having to wait until the next opportunity presents itself. Okay, then that will obviously be after the next momentum move. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that session there of the Forex Focus. I hope you all got value out of it, obviously. Obviously, I hope you've enjoyed the Forex Focus this year. We started it at the beginning of the year. It's been a really sort of good run. We had that little gap there in the third quarter of the year, but we've picked that up again now. And obviously we're getting some wonderful comments and emails from all of you guys. So thank you very much for that. Please feel free to obviously post below the video. Help us share the Forex Focus as well. So let's try and grow this. So subscribe to the channel, share it with any of your friends, anybody that you think will obviously benefit from this, obviously. And with that in mind, obviously the only thing that's left to do is wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. There won't be one that we put out next week. So we won't be trading throughout the Christmas and the New Year's period. That'll just generally be family time. But you've obviously got what we're looking at over the next week, and that's not really going to change that much, to be honest with you. So the next Forex Focus will be out in 2 weeks' time after the Christmas period. If you need anything at all, please drop us an email, post comments, and otherwise have a fantastic Christmas, a wonderful New Year, and let's look forward to a great 2016 of Forex trading. Okay, so take care now and speak to you all soon.